Now in this topic I will discuss regarding the zero order reaction. In the previous parts 10 and 11 I have discussed regarding the first order and second order reaction. Now I will discuss zero order reaction. I have already introduced you regarding this order that whenever there is a multi-step reaction like this one, in multi-step reaction you get an intermediate. These are the transition states. This is TS1 and this is TS2 and it is product. So the most simple multi-step reaction has the energy profile like this one. You have in the first step an intermediate from reactant, so it is reactant to intermediate, and then in the next step you have product from the intermediate. Now if you have another reactant that participates in this step, that is with the very small barrier, then it will not contribute in the barrier crossing process, since the large barrier is this one. And if there is any other reactant, say R prime, and that it appears in the first step and not in the slow step, then the rate equation will be like this. It is rate equals to rate constant into R. Since R is participating in the slow step, that is having the large barrier, having the large activation energy, there will be contribution of this reactant. But this reactant is participating in the first step, having a very low barrier, which is easily overcome by the thermal energy present in the system. So it will be R prime to the power 0. So in this way zero order reaction may come. Now I will study the kinetics. We must study the kinetics like we have studied it for first order and second order. So if we write like this, say Na arrow product, and if we start from initial concentration C0 at time equal to 0, and if we have C concentration left after elapse of time t, then at time t the rate minus dc dt will be equal to k into C to the power n. This is for nth order reaction. Now if it is a zero order reaction, then it will be C to the power 0. So we have, this is 1, so we have k. So here we see that the rate of a zero order reaction is constant. Rate is a constant. Now we will integrate it. So rearranging, we have this one. Now upon integration, now k will come out, it is a constant. So we have minus C equals to kt plus I. When t equal to 0, C equal to C0. So you put in this equation, here we replace C by C0 and t is 0, so it is equals to I. Now if I substitute the value of I here, we have kt minus C0 or C equal to minus kt plus C0. This is the integrated rate equation for a zero order reaction. Now we will like to have a plot to realize the variation of concentration of reactant over time. Now this is time 0 obviously it will start from this initial concentration C0. So it will start from here. Now notice that it is an equation of a straight line. Now this k is positive but minus k here, so we will get a straight line with a negative slope and intercept is C0. So it will look like this one. Now if we measure the angle theta, then it will give us the slope tangent of this angle will give us the slope, and comparing this with this equation we will have that the slope is minus k. So if you have data of concentration at different times, say you know for t equal to 0 you have C0, for t equal to say t1 you have C1, for t2 you have C2, and so on. You have many data. Then if you plot C versus T, you will get a straight line having an intercept at C0. So starting from initial concentration C0, the concentration will fall along this line. Now you measure the slope and you get it is minus k. So you can have the value of rate constant of a zero order reaction from this graph. Now let us find the half-life for a zero order reaction. When t equals to half-life, we have the remaining concentration C to be 50% of that of the initial concentration. So it is 50 by 100 of C0, so it is C0 by 2. Now putting this value in this equation, we have C0 by 2 equals to minus k, it is T half plus C0. Now we take this to the left hand side and take this to the right hand side. So we have k T half equals to C0 minus C0 by 2. This is 1 minus half, so it will be half left, or half-life for this zero order reaction is T half equals to C0 by 2k. This is the half-life of a zero order reaction. Now we see that for a zero order reaction, the half-life is directly proportional to the initial concentration. So if we start with, for example, 2.0 molar concentration of the reactant and say its half-life is 30 minutes, this is for example, then after elapse of 30 minutes we will have 1.0 molar reactant to be left in the vessel. Now when this 1.0 molar will get converted to 0.5 molar, then it will correspond to another half-life obviously. So what will be the time? See, this is proportional to the initial concentration, and since it is 30 minutes for 2 molar, so it will be 15 minutes for 1 molar. So T half will be obviously 15 minutes. And in this way, for the next step, next half-life, it will be 7.5 minutes and so on. So we see with increase in time, concentration decreases, but the rate of the reaction remain constant. Since we have started with the differential form of the rate equation, which we got minus dc dt equals to k into c to the power 0, so it is a constant. Since rate is constant and the concentration is falling, so the time required for 50% completion will be less when there is less concentration. So when we start with 2 molar, it will take 30 minutes, but when we start with 1.0 molar, it will take lesser time. So less the concentration, less will be the time required for 50% completion. So when it will be tends to 0, to get it half, you will take time tends to 0. So the reaction will come to an end. So unlike first order and second order reaction which do not complete, we see that zero order reaction actually completes. It completes. Now when you say that zero order reaction completes, then student may have a query and must have a query that in which time it completes. Since first order and second order does not complete, there will be no such query. And maybe there is query, but that will give you the answer infinite time. So if a reaction completes in infinite time, that actually means that it will never complete. But here we see that the zero order reaction completes. So one may ask you that if it completes, then a finite time will be required for the completion. So what is that time? Can you find it? Yes, we can. So for this we must start with the integrated rate equation. This is the integrated rate equation for a zero order reaction. Now what does complete means? Complete means there is no reactant in the reaction vessel, and this is the concentration of the reactant that is left. So we have at the end C equal to 0 when T equal to T end of the reaction. So we have 0 equals to minus K T end, or better write it completion, T completion plus C0, or we take this to the left hand side, completion equals to C0, or T completion equals to C0 by K. So the initial concentration divided by the rate constant for a zero order reaction will give you the time for the completion of a zero order reaction. So more the rate constant, more the value of the rate constant, more faster the reaction will proceed and it will complete at a lesser time. And more the initial concentration you take, more will be the completion time. So this completion time for a zero order reaction is actually the ratio of the initial concentration to its rate constant. Now this is the zero order reaction. But you see, zero order reactions are not independent. Examples of zero order reactions are like, say, when, this is example 1, when there is iodination of acetone CH3COCH3 plus I2, if it is acid catalyzed, here you have the rate I have shown you in previous part, that it is that the rate is first order with respect to acetone but zero order with respect to I2, and it is first order with respect to the acid. Now in this example you see, you did not get the zero order reaction. The overall order of the reaction is not 0. It is 0 order with respect to a certain reactant. So the actual kinetics of this reaction is second order. But this acid will remain constant, so we can multiply it to this rate constant. So it will act like a pseudo first order reaction, which I will discuss in part 15. But you see here, can you get this overall reaction to be 0 order? No. So let us take another example. If we decompose HI applying heat to form H2 and I2, it will give us the rate equation. All this I am talking about are experimentally obtained rate equations. Theoretical rate equations are meaningless. You first get the experimentally obtained rate equation, then you construct a theory that give you the result. We get, so we get this to be a second order reaction. But when we perform this upon gold catalyst and we apply high pressure, then we have this reaction to be zero order. So this is an overall reaction. Here we have a reaction where we get the overall order to be zero. But please be careful that you need a gold catalyst. So reaction is occurring at the surface and you need high pressure obviously. So all sides of the gold must be occupied by this reactant. If it is in the range of low to moderate pressure, it will no longer remain zero order. So there are reactions where the overall order may be zero at certain conditions, and there are reactions where the overall order is not zero, it is zero with respect to certain reactant only. Now in the next part, I will compare the results of zero order, first order and second order reactions.